why you play the game with the people that writing the rules. Ain't the fame that I'm after when paying the dues. I've been through the pain that's reflected in the attitude. Might be winning now, but the thing is that I had to lose. So go and tell me what you really want to do. And load me at the top, cause there ain't a lot of room. Ain't no other option, that's all I ever knew. So I'ma get it poppin', you know how I'ma do. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. I've been down from the jump. Ain't no love lost, we just really doing us. Go and take your seat, looking silly getting up. Y'all know what it is, let me tell them what it was. It was 24/7 on the grind, one thing at a time. Hard to understand, kind of person got the state of mind. We was making moves every day, getting things in line. You could go and say what you want, but believe that I've been down through the blood and the sweat. Guarantee you can know I'm a threat. I've been down through the blood and the sweat. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah, I'm going all in. And I ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in. Yeah. They know I'm going all in. Through the blood and the sweat, y'all know we ain't close to being done yet, I'm going all in.
Myself. What's going on, everybody, here on YouTube? I am doing a joint live venture right now on TikTok. I got my phone sitting right in front of me here. We're going to be talking about what's popping off in women's college basketball. Let me tell you something right now. If you're in the room, drop a comment. I appreciate you being here. This impromptu situation right now. I don't know all this fan club stuff is here. Like I said, I don't know what's popping here on TikTok, but yo, appreciate everybody who's on board right now in all of our in both of the platforms. But yo, people, man, we got a lot going on in the world of women's basketball. I know it's a late impromptu live, so I'm gonna give it a few minutes before we start jumping in on the topic. I don't know how long I'll be on here because I do have to work in the morning as well. Tomorrow night, 7 p.m., the women's basketball Final Four. We will be broadcasting live. I will not have the game on the live, but what we will be doing is I do play-by-play commentary. So if you're into that, be on board. I'll be doing both games, starting with the UConn South Carolina game at 7, followed by Texas UCLA. I just dropped a little earlier this evening my preview for the games. I gave my predictions. It's no secret. I picked who I picked to get to the finals, but I'm telling you why. So do check out the video. Leave your comments. Who do you think is going to get the job done tomorrow night? Will you be watching? But of course, whether you're watching or not watching, come on board for the live stream. And I do play-by-play. So I don't do lives like maybe other people do lives. They're just shooting this shit, talking about nothing. I actually am trying to broadcast the game to you because a lot of people aren't watching and they use me as almost their radio because radio broadcasts honestly kind of suck and they're not entertaining. If you listen to radio broadcasts, don't know what you think of them, but I find them to be rather boring. And I guess, end of the day, I want to make it as fun as humanly possible for y'all. So definitely jump on board. And I'm just trying to see what's going on here on TikTok because I don't really know. I'm gonna start doing this more often. But yo, if you're in the building, leave a comment, man. I know it's late night TV going on here right now. So Final Four, man. Final Four is popping off tomorrow, but we're gonna move into that a little bit later. We're talking about what's going on across the world of women's basketball right now. The transfer portal is on fire. It is going bananas. Audi Crooks has entered the portal. Now, I'll give you my opinion. You know my opinion. I dropped a video on it. I'm shocked that she's in the portal. I'm really shocked that she's in the portal. I never thought she would jump in the portal. I thought largely that people jumped in the portal because they wanted to get away from her. Now, I stand on it. I still think there is a large component of it that it was her, and you wanted to have you want to play with people that you know you can trust defensively and such. You want to play with people you trust defensively, and when you have a player like her who scores a lot, demands the ball, but on the other side doesn't do anything, you get a little bit frustrated, and you might not be too happy with playing with someone like that, and you want to jump on board. You want to get away from that person. Um, so it's one of those things where, yeah, I can really believe that they left her, and then she decided, you know what? I don't want to be here either anymore. I don't have no teammates left. It's it's really really tough, when you realize, yo, everybody left, and I'm all that's left, and I don't know who the hell we're gonna get. So I might be better off going somewhere else. But at the same time, whoever takes Audi Crooks has to give the team to Audi Crooks. This is not a situation. What's going on? Just saying. Um, this is not a situation where you can just plug her into onto a team. Like, she's not a player. Shout out Henry on TikTok. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Welcome aboard, Giovanni Cabrera. Thanks for jumping on. This is not a situation where you can go say, okay, let's go to Connecticut. UConn doesn't want her. How about Texas? Texas doesn't want her. South Carolina. South Carolina does not want her. Notre Dame. Notre Dame does not want her. Can you imagine that girl playing next to Hannah Hidalgo? Like, think about that for a second. Think about that for a quick second. And people are talking about Notre Dame. I'm like, do you realize how fast Hannah Hidalgo is? She would be leaving Audi Crooks in the background. There's no benefit to Hannah Hidalgo playing with Audi Crooks. Not over one bit. UCLA? Uh, could be. It could be a possibility. And I'm not sitting here saying it is because I don't think a girl from Iowa was going over to fucking California. But it could be. That could be an option because they're losing Lauren Best. They're losing a lot of their players. And they're not going to be as big. And they don't have a star, a face of the team. Now, if Audi Crooks becomes the face of your program, I think you got problems. Because again, she doesn't defend. And unless you're going to start playing some damn defense, well, what exactly is a team to do with a player that doesn't guard anybody? It's one of those things where you sit here and you say, if you're not guarding anybody, well, how the hell am I going to work with this? I can't work with this. You only play one side of the floor, and you saw what happened to Iowa State after their non-conference and first two conference games. They were terrible. They lose in the first round, completely awful. And she gave up easy bucket after easy bucket after easy bucket. And now she's in the portal. I can only imagine that she probably already has a destination already checked. And Philip, that's what I do. That's what I do, Philip. I do the best I can with it, with the tools that I have with me. So that's how I do my live streams for games is play by play, basically trying to describe to you as if you are a blind person. Absolutely. I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I think doing radio is very, very skillful. It's a lot of work, man. So I try to do it from a radio perspective, not a TV perspective. Because TV, they don't have to describe everything because they're watching the game. You're watching the game. But yeah, going back to Audi Crooks, it I think her destination, and this is just my opinion right now, because this program has proven to be the king of the recyclable goods, that is TCU. TCU just lost Olivia Miles. TCU just lost Marta Suarez. So they don't have shit. Just like last year, after Haley Van Lith left and Sodona Prince left, they ain't have shit, and they recycled some parts from other teams. And I think that's something they'll be willing to do again. I think that's something that they will be willing to do again is recycle parts and bring in Audie Crooks, make her the face of the program. Hope that because it's a Christian school, people won't mock her, make fun of her, or whatever the hell else. You never know. I mean, hell, she could become the biggest freaking endorser of barbecue in Texas because she'll be in Fort Worth. I think TCU's in Fort Worth, Texas. So she might become the big. She might have a whole lot of barbecue freaking sponsorships and NIL deals because I know that girl eats. I don't want to hear shit that she doesn't eat. That girl has to eat to be that damn big. And I need to stop hearing her like this whole thing. I was talking to a relative of a player today who's currently in the Final Four. And I know y'all don't think that I know things and I don't learn stuff, but I was talking to Lester. I knew you'd be here. I was talking to this person, and it was like we were talking about this Crooks deal today. We were talking about this Crooks deal today, man, and it was just like you kind of you these schools, UConn, South Carolina, they don't want her. They don't need her because you're not building around her. Again, you can't plug her onto a team and say, okay, plug and play. No, she is the freaking team. She's the team. And that's the reality. God, Lester, you're mean. So at the end, when it comes down to this, what's up, antisocial on TikTok? Welcome aboard. By the way, folks, I'm doing a TikTok live at the same time. So if you wonder when I look down at my phone, it's because I'm doing a TikTok live as well because I'm trying to grow the TikTok platform also. But she's a good offensive player. Yeah, I'm not going to take that away from her. She can score around the bucket. Yeah, she can't get 2 inches off the ground. She flops to the ground. She doesn't play a lick of defense. She doesn't close out. She doesn't run the court all that well. And when I was talking to this person, it was like, if it's a guy, we call him a fat ass. But because it's a woman, we got to go into this body positivity bullshit. And I'll get to you right there in a second, just saying on this question here on the portal. And I'll do it to you in basically broad strokes. But we sit here and we go into this body positivity bullshit. There's no body positivity when you're busting 300 pounds at 6'3" as a female. Like, that's not body positivity. You're a fat motherfucker. Like, you need to lose some damn weight. The same way they've criticized Zion Williamson about shit. They don't want to criticize this girl about being completely obese. Like, you got to stop this shit. And yeah, if you got to get her on some damn Ozempic, get her on Ozempic or Manjaro, one of those things to get her to stop eating because she's not going to have a WNBA career at this size. She's not. She can't guard anybody. She doesn't even try to do it because she can't do it. So she doesn't even waste her time. It is. We got to stop the nonsense and start being truthful. And people on ESPN and these television stations that cover this game refuse to be truthful. Oh, you're going to hurt somebody's feelings. I'm not here to hurt your feelings. I'm here to tell the truth. You weigh too much. They got no problem telling the 415-pound defensive tackle at the University of Florida, look, you fat motherfucker, lose some goddamn weight. Because if you want to play in the NFL, you better lose some damn weight. They put male players on weight contracts all the time. In the NFL, in the NBA, constantly. They do it all the time. But we're sitting here in women's basketball. It's like, we got to worry about how this girl feels. No, we don't. No, you don't. So, and you'd be doing it for the betterment of her. Like, we need to stop this noise. You need to be doing it for the betterment of her and making her a better player and helping her live because bodies like hers ain't meant to carry that much. You've seen a 6'3", 300-pound man, right? An offensive lineman. His body is formed typically way differently than that. There's a dude who played for the Miami Hurricanes. He's 6'6", Francis Mauigoa, 330-pound offensive tackle. That dude took his shirt off, bro. If he lost 20 pounds, he'd have a six-pack. Straight up and down. That dude would have a damn six-pack. Thank you, Lester. I appreciate that. Is it D Burger King out? You know, so like that guy would have a six pack, but he's an offensive tackle and he has to eat and stay big. But he realistically, if he lost 20, 30 pounds, he'd have a six pack. He's 330. But his build is different. She looks like her clothes are suffocating on her. So, you know, I think Texas TCU is the likely landing spot because anywhere else, they're gonna suck. I mean, we got to be real. Notre Dame is not going to take her. If she goes to Notre Dame, I'll cry. Like I'm not even a Notre Dame fan. I'm a Hannah. You know how folks, how I told you I'm a Caitlin Clark fan. I'm a Hannah Hidalgo fan because I'm a Miami Hurricanes fan, and we hate Notre Dame in everything, in everything. But Hannah Hidalgo makes me a crossover. I'm committing a mortal sin cheering for that team because of her on that team, straight up and down. But Notre Dame as a program, the school, oh my God, I'm a Hurricane. We hate them. So, you know, it, it's I would be sick for her if that was on her team because I don't think that makes them any better. I think that makes them worse because it makes them defensively horrendous, horrendous defensively. So I do think, and I don't think she's going to Iowa because they got bigs and they don't need her. Um, could there be other options? I guess there could be. Could there be an ACC option for her? I genuinely think TCU is where it's going to be. That's my guess. Or maybe it's Tennessee. Maybe Tennessee. Tennessee's lost their entire team. Tennessee has lost their entire team. So maybe Tennessee can become an option for her because you legitimately could build a team around her for a season. You're bringing in this freshman, Olivia Edwards, who looks to still be sticking to going to Tennessee, even though the whole program has completely combusted. They only got one player left, Jada Civil, who I genuinely believe is going to hit the portal at some point very, very soon. But yeah, that's exactly what I call it, smelly cats. It's Transfer Christian University. They recycle parts there, man. Um, is it not okay to cheer for the WBB team? I understand never being able to cheer. I don't know, man. Notre Dame is evil for us. Like we hate them. Like I hate Duke. I hate Duke and everything. I like Carolina. I hate Duke and everything. I guess the one time I cheered for Duke was in that ACC championship game, and I'm happy to have their two players, but in Darian Mensah and Cooper Barkett and on football. But yeah, we hate Notre Dame and everything. But going back to this question right here, um, the portal. Though there's a window for the portal, real quick. Let me. There's a portal window, right? Now, this portal window gives you a certain window of time. I don't know the exact dates, but the portal technically hasn't even opened up yet, right? It doesn't really open until I think April 6th. Transfer portal women's basketball. Um, but people can announce whatever. They can announce whatever they want to announce, and they can announce it whenever they want to announce it. But technically, it opens up April 6th, I believe, and it runs. Well, here it says April 7th. So the transfer portal officially opens on April 7th, but plenty will happen before that, and that's for the men's basketball. So I'm sure it's pretty much the same. And it's open for like 30 days, and you have the chance to enter the portal. You have to enter the portal during that window, but you can commit to anybody after that. It's not that you have to commit inside of that 30-day window. You can commit after it as long as you're in the portal. So I'm sorry, let's check here. 2026 transfer portal will open on April 7th, the day after the national championship. That's for men. So for women, it's Monday. It's April 6th. This is 2 weeks later than the opening date last year. There was only a 2-week window this season. 2 weeks short. So there's not 4 weeks. It's only 2 weeks. The portal will close on April 21st. No players can enter the portal after that date unless there is a coaching change. But it doesn't stop them from committing somewhere or signing somewhere after that date. It will turn into an absolute fucking shit show. Right now, there are 500 plus players who have already announced that they will be going into the portal. It says that teams cannot officially contact players until they are officially in the portal, and that can't happen until April 6th. That's bullshit because they've already got players who have made commitments in the portal. There's literally the Tennessee girl, Alyssa Latham, has already committed to Virginia Tech. It's already been announced. So that's all bullshit. Um, I'm reading it. Yeah, so April 6th. Oh God, Lester. But players cannot take visits until after the portal is open. The only players who can be contacted in the portal before April 6th are graduate students. For an NCAA release, when the head coaching change occurs, a 15-day period will open 5 days after the new head coach is hired. Da, 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 da. Okay, whatever. The new rule change in schedule changes are a small step in the right direction by the NCAA. Allow programs to have full meetings and conversations with current players and allow teams to better plan for looming departures before the portal is officially open. What you're gonna have is a shit show. You're gonna have a lot of people breaking rules behind the scenes. It's gonna happen. It's already happening. It happens in men. It happens in women. You got teams like Tennessee that have been completely gutted. They lost every player they back except for one. Their seniors are all gone. They just lost the two Paldo twins, Maya and Mia Paldo. One of them was a 5-star. Mia Paldo was a 5-star. Maya was a 4-star. They lost Denia Prawl, who's a 5-star player. All these girls are freshmen, and they're all gone. That's really, really bad. The coach is a mess. Kim Caldwell. Don't know how she hasn't been fired yet. The AD is somehow stuck behind her. I don't understand how that is either. That is absolutely nuts. Yes, accent. A bunch of people have already committed, and that's what makes it crazy. You're not even allowed to talk to them, but they've already made commitments. You got 5-star players dropping into the portal, which is freaking crazy. You got Kayomi McMiller out of Penn State, who went to Rutgers as a freshman, who transferred to Penn State as a sophomore, and their coach at Penn State got fired, and now she's transferring again. Where will she go? I have absolutely no idea. She's a psychopath. She could be a TCU player too. So you might have her playing next to Audie Crooks in TCU. So um, you could very well have Kyle Miller end up at TCU with Audie Crooks because, like I said, they do the recyclable parts. McMiller averaged over 21 a game this past year. Heck, their teammate Gracie Merkel averaged 6'6" junior, averaged over 19. See, Gracie Merkel would be a player that if I am Notre Dame, I'm looking very, very closely at. I am looking real close at getting that girl. That would be a girl that you want to bring in 19 points, 8.5 rebounds. She's a junior. So she has 1 year left. That would be a player that you want to pick up. They lost their whole team. Penn State pretty much got gashed as well. Purdue's gotten gashed. Arkansas has been gutted. I'm talking about 5, 6 players in the portal for each of these teams. Who else here? Indiana has been gutted. They lost 6 players to the portal. Utah's got 4. Oklahoma State has 8. 8. Iowa State, they lost their entire squad. Um, Jada Williams, gotta wonder where she's gonna head. I mean, because this is now gonna be her third school. Could she end up at Notre Dame and play next to Hannah Hidalgo? That would be a pretty big pickup there. What if she enters the portal? Nobody wants her. She can go back to Iowa State. If Iowa State will have her, it doesn't mean you can't go back. You can always go back. So you can always go back to the school you came from if they're willing to take you back. And a player like her, they'll take her back. They would absolutely take her back. And someone's going to take her. I'm not sitting there saying no one's going to take her. I just don't think it's going to be a team that people think is good or some great program. It won't be one. It will not be one of these elite programs. She's not going to get picked up by an elite program because you have to play defense. You have to play both sides of the basketball for elite programs, and they're not going to do that. They're just not going to do it. So it's one of those things that yeah, you're not going to do it. So you look at Cincinnati, they lost 5 players in the portal. You got Arizona's lost 7, Seton Hall 4, Butler 5. Just scrolling through this thing, it's just crazy. Pittsburgh has lost 8. I mean, Miami's lost 4. Couldn't tell you any of them are though, by the way. And I mean, they're right now it's 504. Let's see if I refresh this, if it's more now. 524, and they already have 10 listed as commitments. So how are you committing if no one's supposed to be talking to you? How are you committing if no one's supposed to be talking to you? Doesn't make a lot of sense now, does it? Like that doesn't sound right, right? Um, But this is what this uh, some for purposes of content, it's fantastic. For purposes of continuity and competition, it sucks. I hate it. It absolutely sucks. I despise it. Mississippi State's got 4 of them in the portal. Um, the ones that I always have interest in are those mid-major players, those lower majors, those lower Division One schools that have top level players who want to transfer and then see where they end up and see how they perform at a high major level. Because the talent disparity gap between the Division One high major Division One and the lower level Division One players, it's huge, and you don't really know how good those players in those lower level conferences are. You don't really have any idea until they're on the floor. You don't know. Like you look at this team like Bellarmine. I don't even know what school that is. Bellarmine. What is that? It's in the Atlantic Sun or the A Sun. American. They have a girl who's averaging 10 points a game as a sophomore, and the girl as a senior is averaging 10, and she's going to be going back to school, I guess, for another year as a grad student. Um, could they help a high major team? I don't know. We'll see. But there's a lot of players, man. Charleston's lost 7. They got a 20-point per game scorer here. Terren Barbeau. They got another girl named Taylor Barbeau. So these girls are probably twins, and they're probably a package deal. They're both guards, 5'9" and 5'10". One averaged 20, one averaged 11. So clearly a couple of really good players. I don't know shit about them, but looking like a package deal type of situation. Let me see what they look like. Because Miami has a tendency to go after twin basketball players. I mean, we got all these twins right now. We got the Paldo sisters. I have a feeling I have a feeling they could end up at Rutgers. Because I've heard that wherever they go, it's a twin. It's a package deal. Something must have happened at Iowa. Otherwise, I think Crooks got some bad advice. She built a brand at Iowa State where she is. Yeah, but I don't know that she wants to be on a horrible team next year. So you have to consider the fact that she lost all the weapons around her, and they're not going to replace them. Like you're not gonna replace Jada Williams with a 15-point game per game score. You're not. You're not replacing. It was like Notre Dame. You're not replacing Olivia Miles with Olivia Miles. So you have a massive drop off. You have a massive drop off there, and something must have happened. I mean, I think that what happened was that everybody left her. That's my opinion. Tennessee was horrific, but understand that Tennessee had 4 top 100 players in their recruiting class last year. 4, and 3 of them were 5 stars. 3 of them were 5 stars. So they had 4 top 100 players in their recruiting class last year, and 3 of them were 5-star players. They lost 2 of them already. One of them is still there, and they lost the 4-star. So you lose all this, even though you have the number 2 player in the country coming on board. You went from, and the coach said that she changed the offense mid-season, and she says that was a mistake. You don't think? Of course that was a mistake. Why would you change the offense mid-season? 16-6, you finished 16-14. Pat Summitt, I've said it before, she's rolling in her grave. You think that if Pat Summitt had not gotten sick, that if Pat Summitt was still here coaching at 74, because she could, Gino Auriemma is 72. You don't think that team would still be a 33-3 team? They'd still be fantastic. And they went to this Kim Caldwell chick, and she was decent last year, but they sucked this year. They sucked, and it's on her. And them not firing her to me is crazy. It's crazy. They don't. Is Crooks so good on offense? No, it doesn't, and that's the problem. And that's the reality with Audie Crooks, is that it doesn't compensate for her complete lack of defense. Not in the least bit. It doesn't. Because her lack of defense is just so damn bad. It's so bad. And You can't survive with defense like that. When you're scoring 25, she averages 25.8. So yeah, she has those games where she has 37, but her average is 25.8. That girl's giving up 30, 35. And I'm not saying she's giving up 35 on individual matchups. I'm saying that she's giving up 35 based on people dribble driving to the basket and she can't move, she can't slide, she can't help defensively, and she stands here like a statue and is like this and just does this. And there's literal video of her doing just that. There's literal video of her doing just that. So if that's how you play defense, you can go look at the game she had against Texas Christian. Her defense was an abomination. It was embarrassing. It was almost like, why are you even here? And some people said, oh well, she had 4 fouls. No, she did not. She had 3 fouls, and she was already doing that. And yeah, she fouled out of the game, but she had 3 fouls already. She had 3 fouls, not 4. And she was doing that trash when she had 3 fouls. So, this is not a girl that really cares too much about playing defense. And if you're giving up 35 from all the shit that you're doing or not doing, well, unfortunately, no, it doesn't compensate. If she was scoring 50, I guess, but 25 ain't enough. How do people even honestly rate those players? Yeah, that's the question. How do you rate the players that are in these lower major schools, lower level schools, Division One, and how do you really rate them? You don't. It's very difficult to do so. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you. It's a very difficult thing to rate those players because you just don't know what you're getting. You just don't know. You don't have a clue what you're getting because they were playing against substandard talent, and even on the major school level. I mean, when you watch UConn play a team like Villanova, who's supposed to be a good team, and they beat them by 49, you go figure, man. You go figure. Yes, they lost 8 straight games. That is a possibility as well. Because she can't move. I mean, realistically, she does that because she just can't move. Just watch her move. She can't move. She can't move. And it's not. We're not here to be mean. She just can't move, and that's an issue in basketball. You got to be able to move. You got to be able to move, and she can't move. So it is. Yeah, she's really a. I would challenge her, and I think someone has to have, whoever it is, has to have a true heart to heart with her and tell her, look, if you want to have a W, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't think it's someone in college basketball. I don't think it's a college coach. I think someone from the WNBA. I'll put it like this. I'll put it like this. If there is a player in the WNBA that really gives a shit about, see, they had this, they talked about how they care about the future and they care about these players and all that rigmarole. Well, if you truly care about the future, I would love to see a Nafisa Collier or Brianna Stewart or Asia Wilson, a Nneka Ogwumike, one of them players make a phone call to Adi Crooks and say, Adi, you want to play in the WNBA, right? You want to play in the WNBA, right? You will never play in the WNBA at the weight that you're at right now. You will never play. You might make a team if you're lucky, but you won't ever play because you can't guard anybody. You can't even stay in. You think if I'm the feast of collar, I'd be like, you think you could stay in front of me? I would murder your ass. Asia Wilson would say, you think you could stay in front of me? I would murder your ass. Like you couldn't compete with me. You could not guard me. But I could block your shot because you can't get 1 inch off the ground. You're not playing against these little shrimps in college. You're playing against the big girls now, the tall ones, who ain't afraid of you being 300 pounds. So if they care so much, I would love to see if one of these people would call her up and say, you got to drop 50 pounds at least in the next 12 months. You got to drop 50 pounds at least, more like 75. But you better cut 50 pounds because no one's going to take you seriously at the next level. You'd be lucky to get drafted. Do I think her coach is telling her just to stand there? No, I think that she just can't move. I don't think a coach would ever tell her just to stand there because that would be just horrible coaching. I just don't think she can move realistically, and I don't think she has stamina problems. Honestly, I don't think she's out of shape. I don't think she's. I don't think she. I've watched her play. She's not huffing and puffing. She's not dying. She's just fat. She's just fat. There's plenty of fat people who can run. NFL players ain't dying running up and down the football field. Them fat D linemen and fat old linemen ain't dying. They got cardio. They got cardio. And I've played football, attack and pads. I've played basketball in high school. I can tell you this: basketball never made me vomit. Football did. Football workouts will kill you. Basketball workouts, not so much. Not so much. Football, bruh, if you don't vomit in a football workout at least one time, you never worked out. You never worked out. Yeah. We all know what the issue is. And where's Courtney Paris coaching? Back in the day, yeah. And isn't he dead? I don't mean to sound mean, but isn't he dead? Let me confirm that. And I'm not trying to say it to be nasty. He was criticized heavily for his weight. He was criticized. Yes, he died at 34 in 2011. Man died at 34. The man was 300 fucking pounds. People always thought he was too damn fat. And he played in the NBA for a long time. But not a long time. He played in the NBA for about 6-7 years. And then he played in other countries. But he's too damn fat. And I don't know how he died. I mean, he probably died of a heart attack. I mean, he spent 3 years on probation for tax evasion. He had a massive heart attack. His freaking his heart valve, his veins or arteries, they were clogged. They were clogged from being too damn fat. You don't have heart attacks at 34, being skinny typically. And for her own health and her life, which women's basketball coach is on the hot seat? I would not want Coach Caldwell within 10 feet of my program. I don't know how the hell Tennessee's going to keep her. I did a video on it. Her athletic director is staying behind her. I'm flabbergasted by this. I cannot believe. By the way, welcome aboard, Jay Dolphin Jitler and Benny. Appreciate you, Jigito, Marlon, user XH, Fahed, and everybody else who's on the TikTok live. Kim Caldwell, I don't know how the hell this AD is putting his name behind her. He's risking his job because if she fails this year, and I don't see how she won't fail, they got no players left, and they've only got 2 signees for this class. I don't see how in the world you can do well. because you don't have a star at the very least to put in place, which is why Tennessee could be an option for Crooks possibly. But I wouldn't put her in I would not be staking my career on her because that AD is gonna get fired if she fails. He's gonna get fired. Um, couldn't tell you who else is on the hot seat in women's college basketball, to be honest. I think Kara Lawson's. I'm shocked Kara Lawson's not looking for that Tennessee job. Shocked. What other coach will let her sub herself in? You looked like you were doing the hokey pokey when you did it. That's literally how she plays defense, man. Read your joke. What did you say that was nasty, Lester? Oh God. That joke. Okay, let's avoid the meanness. It's one thing to call somebody fat, but God dog, let's avoid being mean. You always tell me to be mean, but you are meaner than I am, man. Jesus Christ. And you at the lower they're low on the food in Iowa. I don't think you'll ever be low on food in Iowa. Caldwell looks like she has a future in OnlyFans. Wow. You think so? Wow. A&M and Rutgers are embarrassing. Yeah. Penn State did fire their coach. Um, you know, did Rutgers fire their coach this year as well or last year? Did they fire the coach at Rutgers this year? I have no idea. Coach, that's well fired. Yeah, they fired her on March 2nd. Coquise Washington got fired, so they don't have a coach. They don't have a coach. The Michigan coach has been there for 14 years. If she's not, why would the Michigan coach be on the hot seat? They just went to the Elite Eight. Why would the Michigan coach be on the hot seat? I don't see why the Michigan coach would be on the hot seat. I don't see why she'd be in the hot seat. They just went to the Elite Eight. And they went as far as realistically that could be expected. They didn't underachieve. They didn't overachieve. They achieved. They got what they got based on what they had. And I mean, 28-7. The head coach is Kim Barnes-Rico. She's got 284 wins in 13 seasons. I mean, I guess it all depends on your expectations. She's averaging 22 wins a year. She's got 3 players in the NBA, 2-time coach of the year for the Big Ten. Only coach in the program history with 200 wins. Has more games in Michigan than any other basketball coach, men or women. He's been to the 8 tournaments in 13 years. They just made their furthest appearance since besides 2022, the Elite Eight. I mean, maybe you know something I don't know. I don't know how she'd be on the hot seat. Hot seat to me is about expectations and fulfilling the expectations, or at least meeting the expectations, not completely underachieving. Kara Lawson doesn't want the pressure of being the person to. Well, someone has to be. She played for Pat Summitt. And I think you would give her a lengthier rope because she's been successful and she's picking up a fucking dumpster fire. Like she's picking up a dumpster fire. You know what I mean? So if it's a dumpster fire that you've got, you can't get worse. You can only get better. Tennessee, 16-14. Have they ever been worse? I'm gonna look now because I don't know. Let's see here. Women's basketball, Tennessee. They were 17-8 in 2020, 2021. That was one of the COVID seasons. That was COVID. Well, that was the shortened COVID season. They were 21-10 in the COVID. They were 19-13 under Holly Warlick. They also went 27-8, 29-6, 30-6, and then they faded. This is the worst season ever for Tennessee. This is the worst season in 45 years for the women's basketball program. 45 years. Their second worst record is 19-13. It is the worst winning percentage. 594 was 1913. They were 533. They've never had a sub 500 record. This is the worst year they've ever had. And you ain't firing her? And you're not firing her? Shit. Yeah, they hired Gary Reedus. He was the assistant at LSU. You're right. Yeah, they hired him, and he took the other girl with him. That's not how it works in women's college basketball. That's not how it works in most college basketball. People aren't looking to fire coaches just because they don't win a national championship. What is it? You got to be realistic. Look at can you tell me how many teams have won a national championship in the last 30 years in women's college basketball? I can tell you probably almost all of them. And I think there's no more than 7. UConn, South Carolina, LSU, Baylor, Notre Dame, Stanford. That's 6. Is there a 7th? I do not think there are 7 teams that are. Let me look. So you're talking about firing a coach who hasn't won a national championship, then everybody should get fired. Everybody should get fired then. Because I just don't believe that you coach that. I don't believe that you make decisions that way. So, yeah, Baylor. Oh, Texas A&M won once. So that's 7. They beat Notre Dame. Tennessee, I forgot. Tennessee. So 8. Maryland won as well. Maryland won also. So 9. Yeah, those are. If you go back to Purdue 1999, so 10. But basically, you've had the same teams win. And of these championships, it's been largely Connecticut, Tennessee, and South Carolina. So, and Notre Dame. Yeah, you're going back a long time for that. You're going back an awful long time. Tom Izzo's never going to get fired from Michigan State. Never. He ain't getting fired. Like I said, this is not what people have lost. People have lost a lot of reality as to why you do this and why it's done. And you don't fire coaches who are successful. Winning a national championship is the ultimate goal. But more often than not, you don't have the talent level to win it. Michigan State has never been incredibly talented, but there's something about how they play and the culture that they have created there that makes them win games even when they're not as good and go deeper into the NCAA tournament even when they probably shouldn't. I don't know anything about Molly Miller. Sorry. about I think she's a good coach. I think she's learning. I think she's had some experiences that have opened her eyes to things that maybe she wouldn't do in the future. From the things that I have seen on her, last year was a bad experience for her dealing with Hidalgo and Miles. And look, Hidalgo herself has also admitted that she did not handle last year all that well, which is a good thing to hear. Like you can admit when you have done something wrong that could potentially have harmed a relationship. And I'm not even talking about the post on social media. I'm talking about there was a certain selfishness level where you got 2 girls that are basically almost competing against each other. And it really was, it's almost like the Boston Celtics. They could not win a title until Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown stopped trying to one up the other and just play ball. And those are pros. And these are young girls and girls are catty and girls are emotional and the whole nine. I'm better than you. You're better. I'm better than you. And I'm better than you. No, I'm better than you. It's my team. No, it's my team. No, we knew who team it was. It was Hidalgo's team. But she also probably maybe didn't handle it the right way. And Olivia Miles didn't handle it the right way. and so they parted ways. So I do think Ivy had to experience that. Now she's got other shit going on now with her family. Her son is all over the place right now. Jaden Ivey with the comments he's made on social media and getting suspended by and cut by the Bulls. I'm sure that'll get figured out, but I mean that's another headache that she's got to deal with right now. I think she's a solid coach. They got to the Elite Eight with that dog shit roster. They got to the Elite Eight with that dog shit roster. Horrible roster. Horrible roster. Thank you, Peanut Pineapple Trop over there on TikTok. Thank you so much for being on board. That trash can roster to get that team to the Elite Eight, that's nothing short of unbelievable, in my opinion. Unbelievable. Yeah, you needed Hana Hidalgo to be a god, and she was, and she absolutely was. But holy Lord, you really needed uh, to bring that roster. Shit, unbelievable. Oh yeah, SEC is a big headache. Absolutely. Look, the SEC lovers and all that stuff. No one's ever said that you don't have a great conference, but they get so sensitive about it. Like the nonstop, if Connecticut was in the SEC, they wouldn't go undefeated. Bullshit. Yes, they would. Yeah, they would. Just like South Carolina went undefeated 2 years ago. Let's stop making shit up. Didn't they go undefeated 2 years ago? Yes, 38-0. They were 38-0. And in fact, they went undefeated the year before that in the SEC, and they were undefeated until Caitlin Clark took them out in the Final Four. So this mentality that, oh, they're the SEC, UConn couldn't do this bullshit. Yes, they could. They are loaded with talent every single year. Every single year. All the time. They got, if I was guys, I'd be like, they got dudes upon dudes upon dudes upon dudes. They got women upon women upon women. I mean, UConn has 10 McDonald's All-Americans on their roster right now. Their backup point guard is a McDonald's All-American 5-star. Their backup. That's how they recruit. Their backups are 5-star players. So, yes, they would go undefeated in the SEC, just like South Carolina's done. What are we talking about? And it's like you're getting so damn bent out of shape and so sensitive about it. And it's a personal affront to your pride that, you know, they're not good enough. No, they're good enough. And they beat the hell out of y'all motherfuckers last year. UConn beat the hell out of South Carolina, not once, but twice last year. Twice. Beat the tar at them twice. It was. Let me see right here. LSU just hired the Tennessee recruiter. Yeah, that was the guy. I saw his name Lazo. Um, I don't know why this girl Edwards would not just decide to go somewhere else. I'm just being real. I don't know why in the world she would just not pick up her ball and say, I'm going somewhere else. Like, this ain't going to work. Yeah, Enzo Max, yeah. Carolyn Peck. SEC fans are very intolerable. I mean, yeah, Texas fans are really bad to deal with too. I mean, my sister lives in Austin, Texas, man. She talks about Texas Longhorn fans like they're a nightmare. They're a nightmare in football and in football too. I mean, they think their shit don't stink. They think their shit don't. Mind you, Texas is hella good. I'm gonna tell you what. The team that actually The one team that I think that can really give UConn a problem is Texas. They play UCLA. I did pick UCLA to win. I picked UConn to beat South Carolina. I think the one team that can give UConn a problem is Texas because their players. South Carolina's big. Ocott's big. Edwards is a good power forward. Tessa Johnson's not that good. Their backups, like Agat Makir, she's okay. She's a good player. I mean, but Tessa Johnson ain't that good, in my opinion. Tanaya Latson's had her entire basketball confidence destroyed, in my opinion. And Raven Johnson's Raven Johnson. She's a mediocre point guard. People are going to sit here. The South Carolina faithful will glaze her until she's 100 years old. They will make a statue for that girl. Go ahead. She's an above average point guard, mediocre. Has she gotten better this year than last year? Absolutely. Absolutely. Last year she sucked. I mean, shit. Last year she was trash. She shot 35% from the field. She averaged 5 points and 4 assists a game. She started at point guard. She was trash. This year she's been much better, but being much better still doesn't make her some elite level point guard, even if they want to put her on the third team All-American team. I couldn't care less about that. 10 points and 5 assists makes you third team All-American? Get the fuck out of here. That's outrageous. And if that's the case, that shows you just how awful the talent is in the country, or shows you that you don't watch anybody else but South Carolina. That the media members literally only watch the same 5 to 10 teams, because to put Flau'jae Johnson on an All-American team this year is an absolute mockery of the All-American teams, because she was not an All-American this year. By no means. By no means was she an All-American. At the same time, Texas, their players are skilled, man. Booker is skilled. Rory Harmon is a nightmare to deal with. Jordan Lee is hella skilled. They got some ball players on that team. And I think they could give UConn a headache because I think they match up better. I think their players can match up better. This is my thought. And look, Texas is beat the shit out of South Carolina. Texas beat UCLA already. And they beat South Carolina twice. So, and the second time they beat the shit out of them. So, yeah, Texas is a tough team. They're tough. No, I know. LSU fans get into that shit too. LSU fans are not easy to deal with. LSU fans live in some level of world of delusion. They live in some world of delusion, man. It's so annoying. You try to tell an LSU fan something, they will back up Kim Mulkey right now until they die. Don't even understand why they have this love affair with a coach who's been there for only 5 years, who literally lucked her way into a national championship. I mean, I'm gonna be real. She literally lucked her way into a national championship. Like, we could be honest about situations. That shit was lucky. Because if Caitlin Clark does not go for 41 points against South Carolina in the Final Four, South Carolina would have beaten fucking LSU again. They own them. They ain't lost that team in fucking 16 years, whatever it is. They own them. They would have beat their ass again. They would have beat their ass again. So, yeah, I don't want to hear none of that garbage. Like, it's utterly laughable when you hear these types of things being said. It makes me it just makes me giggle at the bullshit. You know what I mean? I just giggle. I think it's laughable. So, but LSU fans, I sit here and I criticize Kim Mulkey. They defended this broad for benching their best player on the final 2 possessions of the freaking Sweet 16. They defended her. How are you defending that? Would you bench? I mean, I'm not saying she's Michael Jordan, but she's essentially their Michael Jordan. She's their best player, and you have her sitting on the bench the final 2 possessions, and she's the only reason you're in the fucking game? It's so unbelievable, and they are literally defending this shit. They're blind. They're blind. So yeah, they're pretty rough to deal with too. Yeah, every time I heard that crap that UConn hasn't played anybody, bro, they had beaten 5 of the top 15 teams in the country in the first 2 months of the season. They beat the doors off of Louisville. They beat the doors off of freaking Iowa. I mean, they were crushing people. They were crushing people. Like they beat Notre Dame by 30 fucking 8 points earlier this year. Like they were murdering folks. Like to maintain that level. Yo, South Carolina, who have you played? You played LSU. You played freaking Vanderbilt. You played Texas. And you lost twice. And they lost to Vanderbilt by 6. Well, no, I'm sorry. Texas lost to Vanderbilt by 16, right? Who did they beat? Who did they lose to? Who did they lose to? They lost to Texas twice. And anyone knows off the top of their head. Oklahoma. Sorry. They lost to Oklahoma. They did beat Oklahoma's ass in the tournament, but they lost to Oklahoma. I watched that game. Oklahoma shot them out the building. Aaliyah Chavez killed their ass in that game. So it's like you beat a bad USC team. You beat the same Louisville that UConn beat. UConn beat them by 13. You beat them by 2. You lost. You beat Texas once. You lost to them twice. You did crush Vanderbilt. Great. And UConn beat a team that beat Vanderbilt. You beat a bad Tennessee. You beat a Tennessee team. I mean, UConn beat that same team. Like these mid-level teams in the SEC are just mid-level teams. UConn would house their asses, in my opinion. Yeah, they both say the same thing about each other. The UConn's well, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you, Lester. You can schedule the world on your schedule, but the thing is, they base it on their conference because yeah, they did beat Duke by 17 in the regular season. They did. That was when Duke was playing like complete dog shit. And then they can claim they beat USC by 17, but USC sucked. And USC was even trash when they played them. So you take pride in that? Good for you. Yeah, I think Texas is dangerous. I picked UCLA to beat Texas, but it wouldn't shock me if Texas beat them. Yeah, Raven Johnson's been there since I was in elementary school, it seems like. Oh God. Yeah, that's silly shit. You can't even pay attention to that dumb stuff anymore. It's ridiculous. Welcome aboard, boutique Forca on TikTok. Thank you for jumping on. Yeah, Texas, they're good, man. Old Dockery. How do you pronounce? Is it Old Acre? I say she looks like. I feel like her name is Haitian, like she's Creole, so I call her Old Dockery. Now I'll tell you this about her. She looked like Big Mama out there. Her like if Audie Crooks could get to Kyla O'Dockery's weight, she could be serious. Because O'Dockery's a big ass girl. But O'Dockery probably 230, 240. 230, 240? Would you say that's a good estimate? She's a big ass girl. Remember, girls got fat. So like she a big ass girl. And I mean, she has a look to her that's kind of like she has a look to her that looks like she's almost not that I don't want to say it, but not that. Maybe a little slow looking. I don't know. She has that whoop-de doop-de look. I don't know. She had a good game against Michigan, but Michigan's got no size. Like that ain't gonna happen against Lauren Betts. That ain't gonna happen against Lauren Betts. Can Rory Harmon replicate her 26-point game? Probably not. You're gonna need Madison Booker and Jordan Lee to go off. I think that's really what's gonna have to happen. The talent isn't awful. It's a narrative that you can't use stats but say stuff like she's a winner. Yeah, Raven Johnson's the player that CC waved off, and yeah, and then she said that she almost quit basketball because of it, because of the emotional problems that came from it, because she couldn't shoot a basketball. Yet at the same time, thank you, Roxborough Slim. Yet at the same time, she's sitting there telling you that women are more skilled basketball players than men. Like what? Stop it! I don't want to hear that shit. You're not. Might there be a few that are more skilled? Sure. You're not. You can't even dribble around a freaking female guard. What are you talking about? You can't make a wide open jump shot, or you couldn't then. You finally can now. Nah, I'm not. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying it's not. I'm saying that matchups matter, and they did get the luck of the draw that had Iowa. Here's the thing: if Iowa had played LSU that same night, they'd have beaten LSU's ass too. Because if you recall, LSU beat Miami in the Elite Eight, and Miami was an 8 or a 9 seed. I'm a Hurricane fan, remember that. They beat Miami 54-42. Angel Reese ain't do shit. LSU couldn't make a shot, and Miami could make less shots. If Iowa had played LSU that night, Iowa would have beaten LSU by 30. Iowa caught LSU on the wrong day. And that's what made that year suck so bad, is that if they played LSU, I think 10 times, they probably win 6 of those games, maybe 7. But LSU had players who never made shots go scorched earth, and that was the ball game. I believe it was Jasmine Carson goes for 21 points, 22 points, hit 7 threes. They won by 17. The girl scored 0 in the Final Four game before that. 0. And had 22 in the final. Do I think SC will put 44 on AZ like they did Miles? She's not a starter, so I mean, when do they bring her in? I think AZ Fudd's gonna have a humongous game tonight. I think she's gonna fucking go off. She had 2 bad games back to back. She had a big performance last year in the Final Four in both games. I think she's gonna go off tonight. I think this is a game where she redeems herself in the last 2 games. And look, they beat 2 solid basketball teams by 21 and by 18, and they didn't play well. They didn't shoot the ball well, and they're a 40% 3-point shooting team. They can win without shooting well, but to blow people out, they got to shoot better. And they still blew them both out. Like my numbers, 18 and 21 is a blowout. So, I mean, you could. I think AZ Fudd will take her cookies. She's still a freshman. Like, you still got to remember, she's still a freshman. And she's still skinny as shit. Good player, but skinny as shit. When did Iowa become a good team? Iowa was a 2 seed in the tournament. I mean, I have my opinion on Iowa, but it doesn't make them not be a good team based on women's basketball. Are they a good team in comparison to the top 4 teams in the country? No. Are they a good team in comparison to the top 15 teams in the country? Yeah. They beat Michigan twice. The win that everyone's jumping up and down about for Texas, they beat the crap out of Michigan twice. like badly. So, yeah, they're a good team. Are they a great team? No. I don't think there's any great. I think that the great teams are playing this weekend. The rest of them are good. Do I think LSU's a great team? No, I think LSU's a good team. Very, very flawed basketball team. After the top four, after the top four, the drop off is, you're correct, is absolutely astronomical. LSU is flawed. Kim Mulkey is the reason they're flawed. She's the reason they're flawed. She recruits horrendously. She recruits for a style and then plays a bunch of bums. And then when it's time to play that style against the good ones, i.e., Texas, i.e., South Carolina, she gets baited into a slow ball game. Like, think about that for a second. You averaged 95 points a game because you ran the score up on a bunch of shithole teams in the first in the non-conference schedule. Bums. So you learned literally nothing about yourself as a basketball team, as a basketball program. And now you're gonna run into your SEC, the big bad SEC teams. And you're competitive, you're good, but you're not great. You're not great. I mean, they were lucky to win that Ole Miss game. Lucky, realistically lucky. And when it came down to the two dogs in the race, Texas and South Carolina, yeah, they did beat Texas once. Shocked. Look at the score. Look at that score. That wasn't an LSU game. That was a Texas style game. And that is, if you're building a team and you're playing a style, and when it comes down to playing those teams that are the big bad wolf, and you can't play your style, you have failed. Realistically, they, for a good portion of that Duke game, did not play their style. They got to play their style at the end, and that's why they got back in the game, because Duke kind of shit on themselves. But even that game, they scored 85 points. They didn't score 95 points. They averaged 95 points. That game wasn't up and down. There was a point where I thought Duke was playing too fast. I thought Duke was playing too fast for a period, and that allowed LSU to stay in the game, especially in the first half, because that's the tempo was leaning towards LSU. Then they slowed it down again, but never called Iowa a great team. Wow, I'm muted. I'm sorry. I'm muted. My bad. If I said I'm muted. Sorry about that. What I was saying was, if I said that Iowa was a great team in this by accident, that was my fault, my mistake. I take that back. There's only 4 great teams in college women's basketball, and they're playing this weekend. The rest of these teams are just good. None of them are great, and Iowa still did beat Michigan twice, top 10 team. UCLA lost to Texas. Texas beat South Carolina twice. And they're a conference matchup. So what non-conference game, which great non-conference team did UCLA did South Carolina win this year? They didn't beat anybody non-conference. All their big time wins are within the conference. All their big time wins were within their conference. They didn't beat anyone great outside the conference. They beat Texas once. They lost to Texas twice. They beat LSU. LSU is the team that hasn't beaten them since before I got married, before I had children. Like that's how long it's been since LSU has beaten South Carolina. I didn't have any kids yet, and my kids are 12 and 14. Still looking at y'all. I'm way behind on the comments, people. Yeah, the girl Jasmine Carson she was a bum, and she had 22 in that championship game, and she went completely bananas from 3-point range, and their team shot better from three than they'd shot all season. Iowa plays that team any other day of the year. I think they win that game, but they played them the wrong day. Brother Philip, I have nothing left to do. I can't fix this. I've had a cough for the last 3 fucking weeks. I get these coughs. And I always tell my wife, when you get me sick, you're fucking me up. And she never listens to me. Um, Literally had to sleep in a different bedroom because I can't sleep in the same room because my son's been sleeping in our room. He's about to be 2 years old. He sleeps in our bed once in a while. And he brought home a wonderful daycare disease, and I caught it. and that's no daycare disease. And I don't have the strongest immune system. I take airborne. I take all of those immune system things, and my body cannot escape daycare disease, which is children's sickness. And then it takes flipping forever for me to get over it. So yeah, it sucks. It does suck. Oh man, friggin' I can't. Someone that your last name on here ends in bitch right here on TikTok. Thanks for jumping on board. Khaled, Roxborough Slim, thank you for jumping on board here. I don't even know what the hell RSV is. So I had a cold. I get bad colds. That's really all it is. I don't have the flu. I had nothing. I don't even know what RSV is. What is RSV? Let me look this crap up. You trying to use medical terminology with me? Respiratory what the fuck? Respiratory syncytial virus. Oh no, they didn't. He don't have that. No, he don't have that. No, I don't know what the fuck that is. I never heard of that shit. But no, maybe I got it. Who the hell knows? I'm out. I'll fight through it. It's 2:40 in the morning though, so I won't be on here much longer. But jumping into this other stuff right now, before we go, I did put the picture of Caitlin Clark on there, and it could be season. I do have allergies. I do. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't have allergies. I'm allergic to a lot of shit in Florida, and yet I never knew it until I was an adult. Like I'm allergic to Bermuda grass. Now, Bermuda grass is literally the grass that we have here, and I'm allergic to it. Played football and I played baseball. And I never knew until I was a grown man that I had an allergy to Bermuda grass. So, but Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark was recently on this, as you know, on the U.S. team for this qualifier, and she's not there for this workout this week. And people are losing their minds. People are losing their shit. Why? Why are people losing their minds over this crap? It doesn't make sense to me. What are people losing their minds over? She's not at the workout. Neither is Angel Reese. Neither of our other players who played in that thing. They're getting people more workouts, more looks. Who cares if she's not there? People lost their shit over this. She's already on the team. She doesn't have to go to this stupid workout. She doesn't have this stupid ass workout. If Paige Beckers wants to waste her time at a dumbass workout, feel free, Paige. But we all know where Paige will be tonight. She'll be up in Phoenix, Arizona, cheering on her Lickum friend, AZ Fudd. She'll be there. Like, I don't know why people have lost their minds about it. There are people that lost their minds of Angel Reese ain't there. Like, who cares? Who gives a crap who's there now or not? She just played in the tournament. And I'm trying to understand why they're having this is the same stupid workout that Caitlin Clark, well, you're not seeing her play. It's practice. Who gives a crap? It's practice. This is the same stupid fucking workout that Caitlin Clark could not attend when she was in the Final Four, and they used that dumb shit as the reason that she didn't make the fucking Team USA and the physicality of the international game. Like, come on. Like, who cares about some stupid practice workout? You want to watch her practice? I mean, seriously, there comes a point in which even some of the Caitlyn fans suffer from this delusional syndrome of you want to watch her play golf, you want to watch her play checkers, you want to watch her play cards, you want to watch her be a photographer at a Lakers game, you want to watch her take a shit, you want to watch her on her period, you want to watch her take a fucking dump, you want to watch her getting plowed by her fiance, you want to watch her do everything. It almost gets a little bit creepy and weird. Who the hell cares about watching people practice? It's like you just watched her play. You saw what you needed to see. She's still her. I don't need her to practice with these dummies. I couldn't care less about her practicing with these fools. We got a basketball season to worry about. Do you want to know how bad it would be if Caitlin Clark went to this 3-day dumbass workout with Team USA and fucking pulled a hamstring? I mean, I'm serious. Can you imagine if she went to this damn thing and pulled a goddamn hamstring 2 weeks before fucking training camp starts? Do you understand what that would be? Philip, are you watching her practice? No, you're watching clips. If you want to go watch her practice, go fly to the place that she's practicing at and get a telescope and spy through the window. Like, if she got hurt in this bullshit, y'all would lose your minds and then you would blame Team USA for this happening. Instead, you're complaining because she's not there. I'm glad she's not there. She doesn't need to be there. She's on the team. She's on the team. This is nonsense. Hey Lester, it's a possibility. El Profesor Caviar. Yo, thank you for the donation of $9.99. I appreciate that. I've seen multiple mock drafts of Lauren Betts fall into the Mystics. Do you really think that Dallas swings and links in their foot? I'm gonna tell you what, the Lauren Betts thing pisses me off because what we're watching right now is something that's so ungodly ridiculous. And I have seen some outrageous drafts. If Lauren Betts goes to the Mystics, be very, very, very careful. You're talking about they have Kiki Iriafin, they've already got Citrone, they're bringing Georgia Amore is going to be healthy, presumably. You need to watch out for that squad because that's a legitimate center who can put the ball in the hole around the rim. This mentality of drafting AZ Fudd #1 to Dallas is insane. I've seen our fam. Come on, man. Are we really doing this? Are we really doing this? We're going to go draft our fam #1. Like, she's good. She'll be real good in a few years. Are you going to waste the first 4 years of Paige Becker's career in Dallas playing with projects? Or are you going to bring in Betts who you can pair with a with Paige Becker's and have a 1-2 punch big little combination that every team would love to have? Lauren Betts is good. I don't know what people think. Lauren Betts is freaking good. And you do not draft good little over good big in the WNBA. And if you do that, you deserve your fate. And I will tell you this, if Lauren Betts falls past number 1 and the Minnesota Lynx don't take her at number 2, they should get smacked because that would be utterly insane. You're handing Nafisa Collier, a skilled 6'7" mountain of a woman. You're giving them a 6'7" mountain of a woman, and you got Nafisa Collier there. You got all those players they got there. They got a great coach. We may not like her very much, but she's a great coach. And they need a big. Like Minnesota's biggest problem is they don't have a big. Their bigs are 6'4", 165 pounds. They're bones. I would be floored if Minnesota didn't draft Lauren Betts at number 2 if she's not taking number 1. Can you imagine if the Orlando Magic had not taken Shaq at number 1? What are you doing? What are we doing here? Like some of these drafts are crazy. If Flau'jae Johnson is not drafted in the top 6, in my opinion, no way. And Tania Latz is not going number 7. Her value has fallen into the toilet. Albeit, I think she'd be a great pickup for the Indiana Fever. I think the projection that has Gabriela Jaquez to the Fever is horrible. You're just are we just going to regurgitate the same player over and over again? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to have the same fucking player over and over and over and over again. I know what Caitlin Clark said about Kelsey Mitchell. Kelsey Mitchell will not be in a Fever uniform this year. It would absolutely floor me. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate it. It would. Yeah, the storm of Dominique Malanga, and she's good. And it's going to take 3 more years. This isn't that's a long-term project. She's 18. Fam is 19. These are long-term projects. This is the WNBA. You want a 23-year-old here. You need a 22, 23-year-old here to put with Paige Beckers. Not a project. Not a project. I don't think it's a coin flip at all, Accent. I think it's a no-brainer, but they complicate shit. Lauren Betts should be the number 1 pick in the draft. Lauren Betts should be the number 1 pick in the draft. Like, it's not even debatable to me. It's not even debatable to me that you wouldn't take Lauren Betts number 1. Looking at this mock draft we have right here from Tankathon. I've seen a whole bunch of mock drafts, but this one's just one I pulled up. This shit's comedy. Like, this crap is comedy. Nipkins at 8. I don't even know who the hell Nella Angloma is. Jaquez at 10. Raven Johnson 11. I mean, Medina Okot at 13. Garzona at 14. Sarah Williams is not going to. Okay, let me get rid of this bullshit draft. This is a trash ass. This is a trash ass. Oh my God. Sarah Williams is not going in the first round. No way. No way. Let's take a look at the most recent one from Volpo. That was a month and a half ago. Fudd, Fam, Miles, Betts, Flaj. Please, another trash one. That's trash too. Here we go. Let's look at this one here. High post hoops. Here we go. What do they got? Fudd, Fam, Miles. God. Do they just regurgitate one they see on someone else's website? This is so bad. Sarah Williams is not a first round pick. Yet they have Hawk. Who they got going to the Fever here? Tania Latson. I like this. See, this I actually agree with. I think that's a great. I think that's a great pick. That means that Kelsey Mitchell's gone. Fan side, and let's take a look at what they got. I don't know how you don't take Lauren Betts. Sarah Williams' value is in the toilet. She should have gone to LSU, like I said last year. Of course, we'll see how Collier comes back, but I still think that you drafted big for her. Our fam Miles now at number 2, Flood at 3. Kiki Kiki Rice ain't that good. Flashay Johnson, I can't, man. I can't. Raven Johnson to the Fever. God. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine if Raven Johnson was drafted to the Fever? That whole Caitlin Clark shit. Caitlin Clark's gonna have to go to Raven Johnson and said, I'm really sorry for almost ending your basketball career. I'm really sorry for almost making you off yourself or something. I mean, what are we talking about? This girl had a sob story on this damn thing saying she almost stopped playing basketball because of it. I mean, come the hell on, bro. I would not. I don't know why you would draft Medina Olcott to Seattle. You just got Dominique Malonga. That makes no sense. Like these drafts are almost silly. They're almost silly because you can't even like. Why in the world would Seattle draft Medina Olcott when they just drafted Dominique Malonga last year to have her be the backup? What are we doing? This junk is crazy, man. Here we go. Another one. Yahoo. Fam, Miles, Rice. What is this? Flau'jae Johnson, the Chicago Sky, is diabolical. That is not going to happen. Have they not watched Flau'jae Johnson play basketball this year? Have they not watched her play basketball, people? Wait. They got Kiki Rice to the Mystics and Lauren Betts to the Toronto Tempo at 6. Throw this crap away. Throw this away. Raven Johnson, the Golden State. This, people, I will tell you this, and I'm saying this so damn seriously. There is such a talent void in women's basketball. And a problem that comes with it is that they don't even know who's playing anymore. I, they don't even know who's playing anymore. They don't know the talent beyond 5 teams. They don't know the talent beyond 5 teams. They name the same people. Like, let me ask you a question. This is going to go back to that Sonia Citron shit. Would Gabriela Jaquez be the best player on any singular team in the country that would be good? Leave a comment. What do you think? would would she be the best player on any singular team in the country? Please tell me. Somebody tell me. Then how the freak are you drafting this player with the 10th pick in the draft if she's a role player? And that was my criticism from Sonia Citron, was because whether you like it or not, she's still a role player. She was still a role player. She wasn't, when she was with Brittany Sykes, she wasn't the first option. She wasn't the second option. She was the third option. And I'm not saying she wasn't a good role player, but she was still a role player. And even after Brittany Sykes left, she still played the role of a role player, multiple games with less than 10 shots. That is a role player. You don't have to like it, but that's the definition of it. And when you sit here and you tell me that you're going to draft this with the 10th pick, see, I know that Tanaya Latson is not a role player. You want to know why I know that? Because I've seen it. I've seen it. And I didn't just see it once. I saw it for 3 straight years. She was that girl at Florida State. Dawn Staley done fucked her up. Oh, Sonia Citrone's way better than Gabriela Hawkins. I agree with that. Oh, I completely agree with that. And she was also drafted 3rd. Yeah, I agree with that. She's way better than Hawkins. Hawkins is a backup. Hawkins is a WNBA backup. She's a WNBA backup. And so it really frustrates me because I watch football. I'm not football. I watch basketball a different way than these people do, clearly. We watch it in a completely different light. I do not watch basketball the way these people who cover the WNBA and cover college basketball watch this shit. Because there's no way in the world that you're going to sit here and you're going to tell me that Gabriela Hawkins and Yana Nipkins, and although Nipkins did show the ability to be a number 1 option at Utah, it's Utah. It's Utah. It's not high level. It's Utah. But she did show it. And Kiki Rice has never shown it. Kiki Rice is a mediocre point guard. To me, she's just a level better than Raven Johnson. She never shows up in big games. My biggest concern tonight for UCLA is Kiki Rice. If Kiki Rice lays a fucking egg again like she did last year against UConn in the Final Four, they're gonna lose. They're gonna lose. And I could see that happening. I could absolutely see that happening. It would not shock me at all if they found a way, if Kiki Rice found a way to lose, to shit the bed again. I've never seen Kiki Rice have a great game. Not once. Not one singular time have I ever seen Kiki Rice have a great game. So, and you want to make her a top 5 pick? Fuck we do. Fuck. That's only my son now. She's good, like relatively good, but what are we doing? What are we doing? I just oh my god. I get so frustrated, and maybe I shouldn't. But I really feel like when I'm listening to people, and analyze women's basketball, I just don't think they have any fucking idea what they're talking about. I don't think they have any idea what they're talking about. It blows me away. It blows me away. It just feels like they don't have a clue. I've seen a lot of people in college play. Can you imagine 4 players being drafted from one team in a 15-player first round? UCLA might have that happen. Legitimately. If you have Betts, Rice, Nipkins, and Jaquez go in the first round, that's 4 players in the top 15. And on top of that, you want to know what that would also tell me? If they don't win the championship, Corey Close doesn't have a goddamn clue what she's doing. Because if you tell me that you got 4 of the top 15 picks in the WNBA draft and can't, you don't win the title, I truly, truly, truly got to wonder if you have any idea how to coach. Because you should not, you should not be losing with that type of talent. Would y'all agree? I'm just saying. I'm just saying. UConn is excellent. UConn's excellent. I think UConn's also excellent because I think they're so much better coached. And their talent is crazy, but at the same time, there's Sarah Strong is amazing, right? I think UCLA's. I think if you put the, I think I would argue that I thought UCLA would beat UConn last year. I said that. I said that for quite some time. I was very, very unhappy to see um, UCLA completely shit the fucking bed. Um, I was pulling for them last year. It was not a good feeling because one thing about me by now, I think y'all all know I don't like being wrong. I don't like being wrong. Let's just be completely transparent. Being wrong, I don't think anyone likes being wrong, right? I don't like it at all. And yeah, so when when they lost and they didn't just lose, they got crushed. They got crushed. But I would tell you this. After Sarah Strong, I think the next best player is Lauren Betts. I am not the biggest AZ Fudd hype machine. I would argue that she might be the third best player, but then I would argue that the next four are on UCLA's team. So you got two of the three best, but then I think the next four of them are UCLA players. I'd argue that in a second. I don't think KK Arnold's that good. I don't even know who the third. I don't know, is it Ashlyn Shade or Zybel, whatever one. I don't think she's that good. Quinones is good. She comes off the bench. UCLA has a more balanced team than UConn. So I think Rory Harmon's a better point guard than Raven Johnson. I think she's a better point guard than Raven Johnson, personally. I think Rory Harmon is really good. She's a nightmare to deal with. Um, the Chicago Sky keeping their roster. I hadn't made any comments on it. I'll make comments on it. You want to keep that roster? Keep it. It's trash. No, I know that Gino has players stashed on his bench who can go off at any time. I'm well aware, but he limits them. I think he limits them at times with decisions that he makes personally. I think he limits them personally. Um, Genuinely, I think he limits them a bit. So yeah, I think the Chicago Sky roster, if they want to keep that bullshit roster, I think it's hysterical. I think it's funny. Go ahead and keep it. Go ahead and keep it. Keep your roster. Your roster sucks. Your roster's trash. Um, I do think Raven Johnson's overrated, and I do think South Carolina's overhyped. I agree with that. You have any idea why Chicago would have done that with picks? There is that question right now about who would be the number one pick in the draft. Juju Watkins or Hannah Hidalgo would not be Hannah Hidalgo. Hannah Hidalgo will not be the number one pick in the draft. We can kill that noise. No chance. No chance. No. When I say no chance, I mean absolutely zero chance. Hannah Hidalgo will not be the number one pick in the draft. Will she be a number one pick? Yeah. Will she be the number one pick in the draft? No way in the world. No way in the world. Not a chance. I'm a Hannah Hidalgo fan. I think Hannah Hidalgo is a better overall player than Juju Watkins. And I would not draft Hannah Hidalgo ahead of Juju Watkins. So, Sarah who? Sarah who? Oh, Sarah Strong. Oh, no, Sarah Strong's not turning pro. Sarah Strong's going to be at UConn for 4 years. Sarah Strong is not going to turn pro. She's a 4-year player. She's going to leave UConn. She is going to do us this solid. Okay? She's going to do us this solid. And I do think Juju Watkins stays for 5 years too, by the way. She's going to do us this solid. What she's going to do is she's going to do us this solid by forever eliminating the thought and the crap that comes out of people's mouths that Breanna Stewart is the greatest college women's basketball player, blah, 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 from UConn. Get out of here. I don't want to hear that crap. Has the most accolades. Da, 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 da. Sarah Strong's going to leave UConn with 4 national championships. Hey, you want your hot take? You want your tea leaves? Sarah Strong is going to leave UConn with 4 national championships. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. And she will be 3-time MOP, just like Breanna. Oh, she'll be 3-time MOP, even though she probably should have been MOP last year too. And she will be a 3-time National Player of the Year. And I'm gonna go a little bit above it. And she will retire. I say retire. She will graduate from UConn having won. Right now, so they're 58. They're on a 58 game winning streak. So if they get to 40-0, that means they're on a 60 game winning streak. She's going to leave UConn having won 140 straight games. Mark it fucking down. Stamped. Sarah Strong's never losing another game at UConn. How you like them apples? She's going to go 40-0 this year. She's going to go 40-0 next year. She's going to go 40-0 the next year. So she'll have gone 40-0 3 straight years. That's 120 wins plus 18. So that's what? I'm sorry, 138 in a row. She's going to graduate having won 138 straight games. What do you think? What do you think? It would not be good for the sport. Do you think having 4 1 seeds in the Final Four is good for the sport? To where there wasn't a singular competitive Elite 8 game? Why? Why would you highly doubt that? They've won 58 straight games right now. They've won 58 straight games right now. Sarah Strong right now. Who do you think Sarah Strong should be averaging 18 and 19 and 8 or 18 and 8? I think the transfer portal and NIL are horrible for the sport. I hate it. But Sarah Strong, this girl shoots 40% from 3. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not saying it's not hard. It's very hard. This girl Blanca Quinones, did y'all watch her in the Elite Eight? Did you watch that girl in the Elite Eight? She is one of the least talked about players in the country. That girl's a freshman. Kaylee Heckle's a sophomore. They're gonna get players. They're gonna get players. I will tell you this straight up and down, and I believe it actually. I said this already. I think Sarah Strong's gonna graduate with 4 national championships. Now, will she win 138 straight games? I don't know. I don't know. I mean, it's really hard. They're gonna win 60 straight by Sunday. That's pretty goddamn impressive. And I don't know who's on their schedule next year, but people still think they play in a trash can conference. They're not going to lose in their conference. So they'd have to play teams outside the conference to get beat. Who do you think beats them in outside? Unless South Carolina puts UConn back on the schedule. Who beats them in a non-conference game? It's hard. I'm not saying it ain't hard. It would take a team playing perfectly, and it would take them playing poorly for that to happen. But I'm gonna tell you right now, she's gonna save us. She's gonna save us from having to listen to any more of this Brianna Stewart bullshit. Because the next person that tells you that Brianna Stewart is the most heralded college basketball player of all time, I'm gonna puke. Because Brianna Stewart played with a National Player of the Year as a freshman. Literally, her teammate was the National Player of the Year when she was a freshman. I mean, get out of here. You're acting like she played with bums. They act like Brianna Stewart played with bums. Like they act like she played with bums. Go look at that UConn team from when she played, where they make it seem like, I mean, come on. Oh my word. It's absurd, man. It's absurd. I'm gonna tell you right now, those Stewie teams were stacked. Stacked. What happened with Paige Beckers realistically is that they had injuries every year. Like, I'm not going to lie about it. They dealt with injury issues every single year, whether it was her or somebody else. Major players kept getting hurt. AZ Fudd got hurt. Fudd was injured her junior year. Fudd got hurt her junior year, I believe. Fudd got hurt last year as well. So Fudd has dealt with a lot of injuries, also. So, yeah, man. By the way, folks, if you haven't done so yet, please hit the like button, man. I appreciate that so much. And if you can hype the video too, hype the video if you can. I appreciate it. By the way, right now I'm looking at the poll. We got 59% UConn, 41% South Carolina. Really? I'm very surprised that y'all think it's that close. I don't. I'm gonna put one more poll up, and then I'm gonna wrap it up after this. I'm actually very surprised that a lot of y'all think that I just put the new poll up. Go hit the poll right now before we go. Yeah, I didn't think that a lot of people thought that South Carolina had a chance. I don't think I am only Philip, I'm doing this for y'all, man. I want to go to sleep too. It's 3:00 in the morning here. Shit. Hit the poll. Hit the poll real quick. Let me know what y'all think in the poll. Yeah, I mean, we got 65 people in the room and I've got 27 likes. Like, come on now. That's not enough. It's not enough, man. I think if UCLA or Texas won it all, I think that'd be funny. I'm not gonna lie, I think that'd be hilarious, actually. I think that'd be really funny. Can't lie about that. But man, I think Sarah Strong. Think about who they got this year. They got Sarah Williams, who was 19 and 12, and the girl is a role player. She averages 7 and 5. They brought in a 5-star backup point guard, Kaylee Heckle. She'll be the starter next year. She will be the starter next year. And they brought her in. She was a backup point guard. Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, this whole thing where people are jumping up and down about USC and all the talent they have. Oh my God. USC, there's gonna be fist fights for the fucking basketball. Like you're not gonna sit here and tell me with a straight face that that's gonna work. Not with that incompetent buffoon coaching that team. Who's better, Hannah Hidalgo or Olivia? Hannah Hidalgo's better. I don't even think it's a debate. Hannah Hidalgo was better. Hannah Hidalgo took a bunch of bums to the fucking Elite Eight. Olivia Miles had a TCU was a much better team than Notre Dame. I wanted to watch those two teams play so badly. That was the game I really, really wanted, and I feel like we got cheated. I feel like we got cheated. I think we got cheated, man. I don't know why they didn't give us that. You know, because they could have given us that game in the second round, and they didn't do so, and we'll never know. But I think it's pretty obvious who the better player is. I do believe it's Hannah Hidalgo, and I don't even think it's relatively close. I mean, Gino Auriemma called Hannah Hidalgo the best guard in the country. So, yeah, but uh, let's see. We got 55% right now, rolling with 11 votes. Let's get some more votes. Let's get some more votes on this UCLA Texas game. Right now, it's 6-5 UCLA over Texas, 55 to 45%. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes, then wrap this thing up. But yeah, it's having Hannah Hidalgo. I think Hannah Hidalgo is the best player in the country. I know that's not how you determine who wins National Player of the Year, but I think Hannah Hidalgo is the best player in the country. Pound for pound, she's the best player in the country. That's my opinion. She did something that only one other player has ever done before. Do y'all know what it is? I'll tell you this. If Notre Dame can get production from these freshmen and get a legitimate transfer portal player next year, I think it could be Notre Dame. Now, would that be a long-term thing? I don't know. I don't know. You thought it was LSU, but they find a way to choke every year. So, and I do wonder how UCLA is going to look next year. I think that girl Addie Deal's going to end up at UCLA. I think it's almost a no-brainer. The girl that was at Iowa, I think she's going to transfer to Notre Dame. I'm not to Notre Dame to UCLA. She's going to go back home and play at UCLA. I think it's a pretty easy one. But it's hard to say Vanderbilt could be. They bring back a bunch. They're loaded next year. And Michaela Blakes is still only a sophomore. She'll only be a junior. She has that freshman next to her who's only going to be a sophomore. Vandy could be something really, really good. Um, Watch out for Michigan again. They bring back pretty much a lot. They bring back a lot of their players. I know they got smoked by Texas, but they bring back a lot. And I do wonder what Kara Lawson's doing with the Duke. I mean, if she could get them somewhere beyond where they've gotten. But it's tough in the women because until you can consistently recruit the top 100 and year after year bring in McDonald's All American after McDonald's All American after McDonald's All American, that's where it starts. Like people think it's the transfer portal. It's not. It's what you do in the high school. For women's basketball, it's what you do with high schools because You know, Don Staley and Gino don't lose a lot of players to the portal. They might lose one or two, but they're not losing 7, 8 players. So they keep a majority of their roster year after year, and they got dogs. So it's real hard. Yes, Michigan needs a dominant post. That's why I think that it is a possibility that they might look at Adi Crooks. They might look at Adi Crooks. That is the one thing that I think could happen is because they need a post. They might look at Adi Crooks. But anyhow, I'm gonna wrap this thing up, man. The poll I'm wrapping up 12 votes. Um, it is 3:20 in the morning where I am, so I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. But I will be on live tomorrow night for the Final Four from 7 p.m. until the end. So please do jump on board, check it out. We will be here for the duration of the games. And if you want to have a good time, come on board. I look forward to seeing all of y'all. I thank everybody for jumping on board tonight. If you haven't done so yet, hit the like button, hit the hype button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe to the channel and share the content. And I do appreciate y'all genuinely. So that will wrap it up. Thank you, Lester, Monique, James, Accent, Kelsey, a professor, um, Kevin B, Philip, and everybody else who was here. Marcus, Javon, Rebeldi. And if I missed anybody, my apologies. But thank you again. I hope y'all have a great night, and I will see y'all tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Y'all have a good one, man. Peace.